Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this issue of AIUTA TV, the online talk show of the International Association of the Universities of the Third Age. Today, with Professor Francois Vellas, the President of AIUTA, we will discuss some recent news about the new developments in AIUTA and about the forthcoming conference of AIUTA in Bogota, Colombia. Professor Vellas, it's nice to meet you.
Hello.
Hello. How are you, and how you have the time and the weather in Toulouse?
So in Toulouse, it's still autumn, but with quite a good weather because we are 24 degrees.
Oh, it's excellent.
Yes.
It's excellent. Now, how do you see the recent developments in AIUTA and what you do in the last several weeks?
We had several events from AIUTA. One was organized in Madrid. In Madrid, you know, in Spain, there is different activity of University of Third Age. Some are from universities that belongs from universities, and other belongs from a kind of association such as AIUTA Tercera Edad de Madrid and Acatema in the central Madrid organized work because senior important for new to reach everybody in the population. So this is the kind of organization. There is a UTA and there is network of AIUTA in Spain that can provide education for all the life to all citizens. And we had a workshop about this connection between UTA and the network of AIUTA.
Okay, can you tell us more about this workshop? We have some good photos that we will share with our viewers, but can you share more details?
Participate AIUTA and as well participate the Chinese delegation and wanted to visit especially what is done in Spain. So they tried to organize, they ask a lot of questions about the AIUTA, about the organization, and about some legal aspects. You know that it's very important that all this discussion can be done officially. And so, and after that, the president of the Shandong Federation of AIUTA, of international universities in China, signed a memorandum with AIUTA and about the connection between the professor of different UTA from China and from Europe. In Europe, Spain will be one of the main partners.
So we are very glad to hear that this good intention to develop senior tourism have its development. And in terms of senior tourism, as far as we know, you visited Tunisia and had some important meetings. Could you tell us more about
in Tunisia? We are doing from AIUTA a kind of experimentation, because you know that Tunisia had quite a lot of difficulties in the recent years because of some trouble in around the country, such as in Libya, and so there were a decrease of tourism globally. And Tunisia authorities and Tunisia firms, such as hotels, thinks that senior tourism could be perhaps the best way to recover, because the seniors, they know quite a lot about the region and Tunisia because they were used to go. So they want to come, and as you see on the photo with the directrice of the Sibel hotel chain in Djerba, we decide to go for a longer stay for senior tourists going to Tunisia. But if they stay longer, if they stay during the low season, in Java is quite nice, but of course the day is shorter than in the daytime is shorter than in summer, so they need more activities. And the Cibel Hotel asked AIUTA to see how they can implement for some years, for some months during the low season, a university of third age dedicated to senior tourism. So they can, as you see in the photo, not only visit handicraft workers, but know how do they know about their way to do, their knowledge, and it will be so kind of lecture conference dedicated for senior that can be in Tunisia not only 1 week but several weeks up to 2 months.
So it's a kind of mixture of academic lectures and cultural experience, intercultural experience,
exactly.
visiting different cultural sites, getting introduced to different crafts and other cultural specific elements of the traditions in
exactly.
Tunisia.
What we intend to do is to put much more content in the visit that the senior will do to look to handicraft worker or to cultural site or to nature as well. So for that, the conference, the lecture done on the hat of the University of Edge will be very helpful for them. And so the interest of the visit will be much more higher because they will know before they go to visit the site what we can see. And after that, they can come back to the hotel to meet again the lecturer and speak with them and add something more to know. And that will be a kind of and we call that
and Professor Vellas, since this is an experiment that you undertook in Tunisia, is there some feedback? What are the reflections from your experience? How it works? What works in this?
Yes, there is quite a lot of feedbacks because, as you know, Chinese delegation came to Europe, but they came as well to Tunisia. And why do they come? Because they want to develop such initiative in China, especially in Shandong province and in Yantai. And for that, they have already think and prepare some senior study tour visit in China, but they want to compare and to see how does it work in other parts of the world. So the visit in Tunisia for that was very helpful. For instance, they said that some kind of handicraft worker, it's okay, but perhaps it's not enough precise expected by Chinese senior or senior as well. So they discuss a lot with Cibel Hotel firm to see how the implementation of the senior study tour could be better and better in the future. So it was a very good exchange of experience, and that we would like to do it in other parts of the world. We know that, for instance, in Eastern Europe, in Bulgaria, in Ukraine, there are as well such initiative on that, and that would be very good to have in next future a workshop dedicated on this exchange of initiative between several countries, AIUTA countries.
we will be very glad to disseminate the experience from Tunisia, the exchange of good practices with China. And last thing that is related to Tunisia and your visit, on the 30th of September, you had a presentation at the Gerba International Workshop on the history of AIUTA and AIUTA's new developments. So could you tell us more about this event and what was the focus of the workshop?
The focus of the workshop was to because, you know, on this new experimentation, we have not only the University of Utrecht, but we have the professional of tourism. Or most of the professionals of tourism are not aware about what is AIUTA, even what is the University of Utrecht. So it's very important when you are in the same workshop with travel agent, with hotelier, with tour operators, to inform them about what we are. Because it's very, for us, it's a kind of discovery. And they appreciate a lot all the travel, all the work that is done in the U3A. And they know now that there is a strong international organization with AIUTA that can help them to develop what is education linked with tourism. So that was the purpose, and there was a lot of debate, question from them about that, and they asked us to do all the stakeholders in the economy.
There is a slow connection probably at the moment. I hope it will go better. No, it's good now. Yeah, it's okay now.
Good.
So we see some familiar faces.
Yes.
Bell, yes. It's okay. And in terms of engaging more stakeholders, obviously, it's a new and very important development because in the same field, under the same direction, we have the forthcoming conference of AIUTA in Bogota. And probably this is not a coincidence because the conference is dedicated to the role of the institutions in the development of education for the elderly and senior tourism. So there is a crossing point that could connect these two topics, education for the seniors and tourism for the seniors. So I propose you to keep talking about the forthcoming conference in Bogota. So first of all, why Bogota?
Well, Bogota, because South America is one of the regions of the world where the U3A are the most developed. There are U3A in South America, in Argentina it was the first, some years only after Toulouse. And now one of the most important networks of U3A is in Chile. As well in Brazil, we have one of our members from, we have several members from AIUTA governing board in Latin America, from in Brazil, in Foz do Iguaçu, in Chile, in Santiago, of course in Colombia, in Bogota, in Costa Rica as well, in the Caribbean. So it is a very important region from for AIUTA. And so this is one of the main reasons why we we are doing our next international conference and governing board on invitation of AIUTA in Colombia. As well, Colombia, AIUTA proposed us to discuss on something that is really crucial from AIUTA, that is the importance and the role of institutions. Why? Because education for all the life, that is the purpose of the AIUTA and AIUTA, is as well now part of the politics on education in most of the country. And this is a little bit new for some countries, and more in Latin America, where the country are with a young population. So one of the points is to put together experience from different parts of the world to see, to compare the role of the institution and to try to find some guidelines for institution. You know that some country has a national policy for AIUTA, and this is a kind of commitment very important for this country. But sometimes the commitment is more on guidelines than on contribution, on financial contribution. So one of the points will be to discuss how we can have as well the guidelines and the involvement of the different ministries and governments, and as well how we can have the public-private financement for the University of Edge. If you go look to some other part of the world, in Europe, such as in France, there are quite a lot of support that belongs from universities, because universities think that it is a kind of social responsibility to open the university to the more elderly people. So this is as well a kind of institution. But universities need support for regional, national governments. And so we shall discuss on that. And we hope that we shall find some recommendation that can be discussed on AIUTA TV, and as well that could be disseminated worldwide.
It's a really very important topic. And I will try to show.
Yes, this is
the promotional video created by our friends.
Good.
From Colombia, okay. Good. Hopefully, Professor Gustavo Rodriguez will be also able to tell us more.
We can ask him to comment, because he is on phone with us. Vous avez mon téléphone, Milan? Gustavo, tu peux commenter sur AIUTA TV la vidéo, on est en train de la passer.
Oui.
Tu la vois là?
Tu me dis?
Tu la vois la vidéo? Tu vois la vidéo là?
Ah, oui.
Tu peux commenter parce qu'on est en direct sur AIUTA TV.
Ah oui. Ça, c'est l'avenue centrale, c'est près où nous serons logés, c'est le quartier central. Là, c'est l'avenue qui descend vers la mairie. Et puis c'est les centres-villes où l'on va faire le parcours, c'est près du palais présidentiel. Et ça, c'est la maison de la monnaie, le musée Botero, le quartier de la Candelaria. Oui.
Dis-moi, Gustavo, on peut te voir, oui, après là?
Oui, je suis là avec toi, mais j'ai un problème de réseau, hein? C'est le réseau qui n'est, bon, ça,
Là, c'est quoi ce patio?
Les musées coloniaux, ce sont tout dans le quartier central de la Candelaria. Et ce sont les rues que nous allons. C'est le palais présidentiel. On va passer par là dans notre parcours. Et ça, c'est les couvents de Clarisse. Et c'est le musée de Santa Clara, que c'est une ancienne église maintenant convertie en musée. Ça, c'est le palais présidentiel. Et c'est le Capitole. Oui.
Santa Clara, là.
Oui, ça c'est Santa Clara. Oui.
So these pictures are from the colonial period, right?
Is it from a colonial period?
Oui.
Ok. Est-ce qu'on peut voir ton visage là? Bah, je vais te mettre sur le brancher sur AIUTA TV et tu pourras dire quelques mots. Ok. So, Georgie, you can ask to Gustavo. He is on the network here.
It's very good. Professor Gustavo Rodriguez, it's our pleasure to have you at the University of the Third Age International Association talk show. So, Bogota seems to be a very lively and very beautiful city. And I'm interested, how is the development, to what level are developed the senior tourism in Colombia? Are there study tours for seniors like we have now in Tunisia, in Spain? So what is the situation in senior tourism and senior study tours in Colombia?
Can you answer, Gustavo, about oui, in English, if possible?
We are waiting for the old people in Bogota. You are cordially invited to assist here in Colombia. We are waiting for all you, and I hope that you enjoy our people, our city.
Good. Could you tell us more, Professor Rodriguez, could you tell us more about Unión Latina?
Excuse me?
Non, est-ce que tu peux dire à quel endroit on va voir les conférences, là, présenter les lieux?
Yes, yes. We will be 3 moments. First moment in the local mayor from La Candelaria district. We will receive by the mayor and the conseil local. And 29 morning after in the at 4 o'clock we will be a meeting, first meeting at Auditorio Huitaca in the mayor of Bogota.
Mm-hmm.
And the night we will diner to the La Bruja restaurant La Sorcière. La Bruja es la sorcière. And the 30, the principal meeting of the conference will be in the Academia Colombiana de la Lengua, the best auditorium from Bogota.
Mm.
Très bien.
Very well.
Oui,
Oui.
oui. Vas-y,
Yes.
vas-y.
On the 1st December, we will make a city tour in the colonial town of Bogota. We will visit the principal street and the best sites of Bogota, Gold Museum, and another church, and other interesting sites.
Okay. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup.
Oh, George.
Bon.
Thank you.
Good. Tu as quelque chose à ajouter sur les gens qui vont venir de Bogota, là, les Colombiens qui vont venir assister? Il y a des personnalités?
Oui. Il y a des gens très intéressants.
In English.
There is important people. The dean of the faculty of medicine.
Mm-hmm. Oui.
We will organize a laboratory of the research for the elderly. And the rector of the university and vice president of Colombia and the other people will be with us. Relationship with the senior tourists.
Good.
Good.
It was a very rich and very, very beautifully arranged program for the conference. And finally, Professor Vellas.
The program will be very rich for all us.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure that you will organize it very well, really.
Merci. On te rappelle, hein?
Oui, je vais arranger la connexion
D'accord.
AIUTA TV.
D'accord, très bien. OK.
It will be wonderful if we manage to broadcast directly from Bogota.
Yes, we shall organize. We shall organize.
It will be beautiful event. I'm sure it will be very useful for the whole AIUTA movement around the world to feel like a part of this event at the moment of its happening. So in terms of organizational life, before the conference will be the 101st governing board of AIUTA.
Yes.
What is the agenda of this governing board, Professor Vellas?
Well, the agenda is firstly, as usual, to look at new members that want to join AIUTA. As you know, we receive application form from Iran. So we shall discuss about the university from Iran that want to join AIUTA, as well university in Spain wants to join as well AIUTA. So it will be a discussion about that. And as well, we shall discuss about the new agenda for the General Assembly of AIUTA that will be in Barcelona on June 2018. And on the request from the UK Trust in UK, we shall discuss on a document that shall stand us for AIUTA Governing Board about the cooperation between university from AIUTA in different countries of the world. So they would like to take some initiative from UK to develop a new field of cooperation that would be on education and exchange of education programs.
Oh, good, very good. So thank you very much, Professor Vellas, for your participation on AIUTA TV, the online talk show of AIUTA, which president you are. And final words?
Yes, I would like to say that to thanks AIUTA TV to be so dynamic, and as well I would like to thanks because we had online our friend from Bogota, from Colombia, Professor Gustavo Rodriguez. So I think this is one of the main aspects of AIUTA TV, to bring together university for faraway countries and to speak the same language and the same goals to provide to all seniors more. Not only education, but more fields for them for the future. So thank you very much for AIUTA TV.
Thank you. It was our pleasure. And
thank you.
Hopefully, in future, we will have more editions with more interesting topics and with more people who will join this big family of AIUTA and widespread the values and the principles of the youth rave movement around the world. Thank you very much and stay with us in future.
Thank you.